Okay, this is how to set up a model from scratch for texture painting. First thing is that the window isn't set up for, or the application window isn't set up for texture painting. So we want to get rid of some of this extra junk. This window down here, which is called timeline, we just do that by clicking on the scene, right click, select join area, and the window that has the arrow in it is the window that's going to go away. So I'll click on this and it went away. And I also want a UV window to exist, so I'm going to drag over here from the top right and drag to the left. And there we go, now there's a new window. Click on the icon down here, select UV image editor. Now I have at least the windows set up. First thing I want to do is unwrap this turtle. So with the turtle's selected right now, I could go into edit mode. And in this case, this turtle already has some UV and image set up, so I'm actually going to remove it. And I'm also going to reset its UVs. There we go. So you would normally start with just an empty window over here. Here's the turtle in edit mode. You want to press A, make sure a couple times to make sure that the entire thing is selected. It should be all orange. So that's good to go. Press the U key, U for unwrap, and we want Smart UV Project always. And for island margin on this window, we always want it to be 0.05. All the other settings are fine. Hit OK. And now we see that the UVs have been mapped over here. Next step is creating an image. So we have the UVs unwrapped. We go down here, hit the new button, give it a name, call it Sea Turtle Image. For these sizes, do 2048 by 2048. Everything else is good. Hit OK. Now there's a black texture underneath the UVs. Right away you want to save the image. Come down to this image thing, say save as. It already has its image name set up, so you can just hit save as image up here, top right. Now the image is saved. Next thing to do is create a material. So we have our image saved, we have the UVs. This whole time the turtle is selected in edit mode, and that's why it's all orange. And on the far right over here is the properties window. So these icons that come across, these represent different aspects of the turtle. And right now if you click on this sphere that's all the way, almost all the way to the far right, and if you hover over it, it says material. We actually want to create a new material, and this should be empty, and if it's not empty then we want to delete whatever's there, but we'll worry about that later. So you go to new, right away it creates a material. We'll name it Sea Turtle Material. Saved. So now the sea turtle has a material. Next thing to do, and it's as simple as that. Next thing to do is the turtle needs, or the material needs, a texture. And once you have a material created, you'll see this little icon next to the material icon over here, which should be a red and white checker box. Click that, and this is the texture window. Just hit new. Just like the material, you want to give it a name. Sea Turtle Texture. I like to name, you don't want to name them all sea turtle, so I just name them sea turtle followed by what it is. Now this texture by itself is just a container. So it just so happens by default texture can be mapped to an image. The last step is you just want to, in this texture window, you come down here, these little collapsible drawers, there's one called image. You open it up. Instead of saying new or open, you just want to click this icon. And sure enough, Sea Turtle image is in the list. So I'll select that because that's the one we just created. And now, the turtle's been unwrapped. We created the image, we created a material, we created a texture, and we assigned the image to the texture down here. Now if we go over here to texture paint mode, we'll see that instantly texture painting just works. Oh, I was on the fill brush, so I'll go to text draw, and then I'll do another color green. And sure enough, yeah, we're painting just fine. And this particular turtle happens to be one big model. So this process needs to be done. If a model is multiple pieces, this entire process needs to be done for every piece in, that you can select from object mode. The last part of this is setting it up for normal mapping. So now that you have all your textures and you're able to paint, we want to be able to normal map. That's always found over here from within texture paint mode. You come over here to these tabs, and there's one called slots. And now we see that there's already available paint slot called Sea Turtle image, and that's what we're painting on. We want to create a new one, so we come down here to say add texture paint slot and select normal. The name that it automatically assigns is good to go. We want to make this 2048 by 2048 again. For painting purposes, 2048 is the resolution that we need. I'll hit OK. Now a normal map slot has been created. If I go to paint, I'm still just painting on color. If I want to start painting the normal map, I have to select the slot down here. And as I select the slot, you notice that on the right, in the UV image, it just changed to all black. A thing that you right away want to do for the first time is notice that this image is unsaved. This is a different slot with a different image. So right away, always remember to go save as image for the first time. The name it assigns is already good. Sea Turtle material normal. That's a good name that we want. Save as image. Now we're 100% ready to go. If I start painting, let's see here. I actually am painting on the normal, and you could, it's subtle, but you could see that I'm doing it. If I make the radius a little smaller, and I guess right here, right there, now it's obvious when I'm painting normal maps. He has bumps. So that's how you set up a model for normal map and texture painting. And every time you want to switch between painting on the normal map or painting on the texture, you have to come back to the slots menu over here in these tabs and make sure you click on the one, and you'll see the appropriate thing change in the UV editor, and that's how you know you're in the right mode. And as you do work in either of these textures, now I'm painting on the texture again, always remember to save from both the slots. So I have to save this image, and I have to come to this slot and save this image too, because I'm always changing two images when I'm dealing with color painting and normal map painting. And that's it. That's 100% how to set up a model.